Welcome back to the Pit Check. If you're new here, this is where you can get a curated list of the best new metal and hardcore albums without having to go through the trenches yourself. I hope you guys like hardcore and death metal because we've got a lot of it, especially thrash, dude. I'm really digging this thrash resurgence lately. We've also got some deathcore and some genty, proggy metalcore, but we've got a lot of bands to cover today and I'm running so far behind schedule even just making this video. Dude, my AC is broken and it's so hot. And of course during a heat wave, are you kidding me? So it might be a little bit of a shorter episode, we'll see. But either way, let's just jump right into this week's best new albums. This is hell. No, this is hell. The legendary Long Island hardcore band This Is Hell are finally back with their latest EP, Born Suspicious. Man, it's been what, 10 years since their last release? And dude, they haven't missed a step. This has their classic blend of infectious melodic hardcore punk and absolute face-stomping New York hardcore. This is a welcome return to their early 2000s sound. It's punchy, it's ferocious and in your face, and it has a metric fuck ton of energy. Like, your aura ring is about to go crazy because it'll be impossible not to two-step to this entire EP. Speaking of, I actually got a chance to see these guys live a little while ago, and if you can believe it, they're even crazier in person than on the record. Highly recommend, love to see them back. 2026 is an insane year for death metal. The hard-hitting death metal band Vow have released their debut EP, Death Will Be My Bridge. You may have never heard of this band, but please God, do not sleep on them. This has to be the punchiest and most pummeling riffs imaginable. Plus, we've got some like haunting, emotional, melodic elements, and that menacing, like metallic hardcore adjacent, rusty knife sound of the early 2000s. This is their debut EP, and it's being released by Iron Fortress. So yeah, I think this is just the start of a very, very promising career. With the label saying, quote, formed in late 2023 on Chicago's North Side, Vow draws from the melodic and emotional intensity of European death metal greats, such as Eucharist, Gates of Ishtar, and Dawn, merging those influences with the urgency of hardcore and the metallic edge of the new wave of American heavy metal. I did not expect Will Ramos on a Periphery song. A symphony of the massively influential progressive metalcore band Periphery is back with their latest album, A Pale White Dot. This might be divisive, but I actually think this might be one of my favorite albums from them. Maybe it's recency bias though, I'll admit it. Yes, we're dialing back the prog elements just a little bit here, or a lot. There's no like 17-minute songs on this one, but the songwriting here is top fucking notch, with tons of versatility and variety between each and every song, and genuinely, this might be their heaviest offering yet. And let's be real here, the vocals on this one are the best they've ever been. The sheer vocal range, both in the clean vocals and harsh vocals, is outstanding. I really love how much more of the like lower range singing is on here, and the like pushed sing scream vocals sound effortless instead of strenuous. But man, I mean, he must have been like, all right, if we're doing a Will Ramos feature, I gotta make sure my screams sound A1. And they do. All in all, this is a fantastic album, but I can see that like if people wanted more of their riffy, genty vibes, they might not pick up this one over some of their others. Although it still is here, this one did feel like it leaned a little bit more on the like groove and tech death and even like touches of deathcore influence. I mean, it's pretty obvious why I liked it then, right? I like my music heavy, what can I say? But it's also like super catchy and it keeps getting stuck in my head. If you've never really listened to Periphery before, this is a great place to start. Old dudes still know how to thrash.
Oh, just fucking drown as you can bleed.
The legendary hardcore and thrash metal band Propane is back with their 16th studio album, Stone Cold Anger. Even though this is their 16th album, this is actually their first one after an 11-year hiatus. And it marks the return of guitarist Eric Klinger. And dude, these guys haven't missed a beat. This thing rips. So obviously, this thing is riffs aplenty. It's chuggy and aggressive with tons of solos and knuckle-dragging halftime passages, and they manage to get surprisingly melodic at times, even whilst it's raging against the collapse of society with only a megaphone and a pair of brass knuckles. I kept thinking their more anthemic, catchy songs almost sound like they're specifically designed to be played at a riot. This album has a lot to say, and they're gonna make sure you hear it. Shit, I forgot to write one of those subscribe to the channel thingies. That shit is always so cringe. I hate doing it. How many ways are there to say, like, just push the goddamn like button and send it to your friends so I can quit my day job? I don't feel like it. I'm just gonna use this little clip of me bitching. Good. Who does hardcore better than New York? The brutally heavy metallic hardcore band Disruptor has released their debut album, Intruder. This is a deep cut you don't want to sleep on. These dudes make some absolutely vicious music. If you want your ears to be curb stomped for 23 minutes straight, this is the band for you. The guitars on this album are relentless. I love how crunchy and textured they sound, with these like ripping death metal adjacent riffs and punishing chuggy two-steps, and most importantly, they know how to craft some legitimately monstrous beatdown hardcore breakdowns. I love when bands can be both creative and a menace. There's also some sick features here from Pure Bliss and Bound, and this is just non-stop adrenaline pumping energy. I was blown away by this one, and I hope we see a lot more from this band in the future. And they said creativity in deathcore was dead. The technical deathcore band No Faith in Fortune has released their latest EP, Dissever. If If you want more than just breakdowns and gutturals, maybe you're looking for some hyper-technical guitar work, some melodic and atmospheric elements, interesting song structures, and cool syncopated rhythms, and also breakdowns and gutturals, then this is the band for you. This band immediately sets themselves apart tonally. There's this super dark and kind of progressive death metal sound that isn't afraid to be massively heavy. And I really like that they don't do it via layers and layers of like backtracked orchestrals and strings. They managed to do it via all just really impressive songwriting. This is a really cool band that I think fans of anything from more brutal death metal and slam to like technical deathcore would really love. Old school death metal made by old school dudes. The pioneering death metal band Jungle Rot has released their 12th studio album, Cruel Face of War. Sometimes, you know, you just want some good shit. I don't always need my death metal to, you know, reinvent the wheel. Sometimes I just need a damn wheel. And good God, what a wheel this is. After a 35-year career, it's awesome to see these dudes still ripping tough-as-nails riffs that would kick ass both in 1996 and 2026. With the band saying, quote, "We have stood the test of time. We are still here playing our trademark style of old-school death metal that has carved a legendary name for us in the underground scene today." Honestly, I love how stripped down and kind of minimal this sounds. It's beauty in simplicity, but simple doesn't mean stupid. This is every bit as groovy and driving and thrashy as the best of their work. This one scratched that old school itch for me in a way that very few other bands do, especially with this much just raw, genuine authenticity. Here are 4 underrated hardcore bands you don't want to miss. The Danish hardcore band Split has released their latest demo, 1,000 Reflections. This thing is mean, dude. I love it. It's got this really gritty metallic hardcore vibe that sounds like you're being dragged across concrete by riffs. The breakdowns are chunky with this like fuzzy guitar feedback, and the vocals sound like you're being eaten by a titan. Do not skip this one. Full stop. You will not regret it.
Take me!
The Boston hardcore band Risk has released their latest album, Forever. If you love thrashy hardcore with up-tempo chuggy riffs and shit tons of energy, get on this ASAP. This thing also has features from Death Before Dishonor, Yellow Stitches, Pull Your Card, and Solace. Everything about this moves at a blistering pace. The guitars, the pummeling drummer, the throat-shredding screams. Get on board or get left behind. The Florida metallic hardcore band Drosera have released this 3-song EP, Outlier. I hate that this is only 3 songs, because dude, this thing rips so hard. This has that sort of chaotic hardcore and early 2000s metalcore influence, you know, chuggy riffs and panic chords, technical kind of death metal melodies, abrasive vocals, and honestly just unhinged relentless havoc. Release a full length, please. The Northwest hardcore band Tolls has released their newest EP, Bleeding Nectar. This thing has two speeds, low-tuned, down-tempo brutality, or aggressive as hell, methed out madness, and either way, it's fucking sick. This has that late 90s, very early 2000s abrasive sound, the chuggy 16th note breakdowns, the punky two-steps, and eerie, discordant harmonies. Kind of like a less melodic Gwen Stacy. I loved this one. Highly recommended. And real quick, I want to recommend Deadwax. This is a pretty sick new metal and like rapcore band. If you like UK grime and hip hop, but mixed with some super punchy hardcore and new metal instrumentals, definitely look this one up. Held has put out their latest album, Grey. If you like things a little bit more on the post-hardcore side of things, don't skip this one. We're doing a kind of thrash, hardcore, and death metal thing today, so I didn't include them, but if you like post-hardcore, man, this was good. Here's the full list of albums that came out this past week. Some really interesting stuff in there. Showdown on Broadway is a cool little like crabcore band. I don't know, man. It's so hot in here. I can't think straight. I gotta move, but good stuff here. Subscribe to the channel, please. Send it to your friends, like the video, recommend bands in the comments, recommend your bands, DM me, anything you want. Get me out of here. And I'll catch you next week for next week's roundup of the best new albums.